as long as you're not owing on it, that will be your security or collateral that I will hold in order to do business with you. They break open your house one time, they rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm, and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. They come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on Saieed. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go in a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you go to the church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. Remember, call your friends, call your family, let them know Real Talk is going live on Synergy Network now. So, a somber scenes at the Southern Academy of the Performing Arts, SAPA, this morning as thousands showed up to pay their final respect to former Prime Minister, the late Basdeo Panday. The day started with the religious proceedings that took place at a family home in Philippines. Close relatives performed their final rites according to the Hindu scripture. Mr. Panday's body was then escorted to SAPA with military processions. From incumbent parliamentarians to his former colleagues, all were united this morning by the memories and admirations of Basdeo Panday, who died at a Florida hospital on New Year's Day. His wife Oma Panday and their 4 daughters, accompanied by their significant other, as well as Mr. Panday's younger brother Subhash, were all dressed in white, symbolic of purity and rebirth. The teary-eyed Michaela Panday reminisced on the relationship her father shared with his family, as she recalled that even in his down times, he brought a smile to the faces of those he encountered.
Never in a million years did we think our father would not be coming back home to be with us. It wasn't even a thought in our minds because of his sheer will, determination, and fighting spirit with which he lived his life. Anyone that knows him will know that our father has never been someone to complain about anything because he never wanted anyone to worry about him. He was always cheerful, witty, charming, and charismatic. So you would never know he was not feeling 100%. Up until the last moment, nothing changed. He was always smiling and making everyone around him laugh. I remember a specific time when the doctor came in to see him and said, "Good morning, Mr. Panday. How are you feeling today?" And he replied, "Doc, if I was feeling well, I wouldn't be here."
So even in his downtime, he was cheerful. She said, anyone who knew Panday knew he never complained because he did not want others to worry about him. His younger brother, Subhash Panday, also spoke of the struggles his brother endured throughout his life and how poverty pushed him to become the country's 5th Prime Minister. Poverty pushed him. How many of us live in poverty and say, you know what, I can't get better than this. It cannot grow better for me because of the poverty line, because of the poverty life. According to Subhash Panday. Now this is word of encouragement. This is words of encouragement. Now, nobody knew at a funeral you would be getting words of encouragement. Why did I say encouragement? Listen to this. Listen to this. Panday also spoke of the struggles his brother endured throughout his life and how poverty pushed him to become this country's 5th Prime Minister. What does poverty do to some of us? It pushes us in a hole. It pushes us to break our encouragement of going forward. But with Panday, according to his brother, it pushed him to become the 5th Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. You know what is that? That is determination. That is pressing forward. That is me not giving up. I don't care what it costs. I am going forward. That is what you call. Whether you like it or not, I am going forward. Whether you're with me or you're not with me, I am going forward. Now that mentality of thinking caused the late Basdeo Panday to be the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. What number? The 5th Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. He is the founder of the UNC party. But nevertheless, whatever happened, that is within the party and the members. I have none to say concerning that. He said, Subhash, he said, his brother also never had any racial intention. And I loved him for that. Listen to this.
My brother never scorned the steps by which he ascended. Neither did he forget it. And that was the initial move to start his life, where he used his whole life assisting the poor. We came from poverty. He never turned his back on poverty, but attempted to help anyone who came from that area. So came here with and entered headlong into politics. My brother was also never had any racial inclinations, and I loved him for that.
So now viewers, having said that, Panday was never a racial man. He was never a racial man. He would always help. He would try to help those in need. He would always press forward into letting Trinidad and Tobago to always become better than we were yesterday. Always pressing forward. May his soul rest in peace, and may God give the family the health and strength to move on day after day. So you are viewing footage of the Sapa building in San Fernando where Panday had his final rites. So Trinidad and Tobago, former Finance Minister Karen Nuez-Teixeira and former Senator President Timothy Hamel-Smith entered the Southern Academy of Performing Arts compound by climbing over a railing this morning to attend the funeral of former Prime Minister Basdeo Panday. Both expressed disappointment. They had not been invited and could not get in any other way. How sad. How sad. This is a funeral that supposed... No, I'll tell you something. A funeral is open to the public. It is open to the public. I mean, oh gosh, man. If you are colleagues or friend or family of the deceased person, it is within your rights to attend. It is within your rights to attend a funeral service of your colleagues. Now, according to her, she was not invited. Teixeira and Hamel-Smith were held over a railing just before 9 a.m. this morning. The schedule started the time for the funeral. Hamel-Smith is a leader of the Hope Party and Teixeira a deputy leader. Hope is said to stand for honest government, opportunity for all, people-centric governance and economic engineering. In a live interview, Teixeira said they tried various ways to get in, adding that security guard and police were kind to them. They told us the procession is coming and that we could go over the rail. Listen to this.
Right? You just take it in the news why I had to jump over. Because the minister, who was my colleague, chose to ignore my presence. And that's what we tell you. Alright. I still fit enough, right? Right, so they ignored me, now you saw me. Thank you very much. And now they have to help the former president of the Senate do the same thing because he got no invitation. Right? So let them continue with the interviews. And look how it makes them look. Take a picture, you jump over.
Trinidad and Tobago, this making headline. This video have been circulating all over social media, and I am sure press is going to make mince of this tomorrow. They're going to make mince of this tomorrow. She said, the treatment is a reflection of the government's true nature. Hamel-Smith said he questioned the office of the president about his invitation, which then directed him to the office of the prime minister, which further directed him to the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs. Amy Brown did put out a statement. Amy did put out a statement. The Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Dr. Amy Brown, has chastised former minister or former finance minister under the Manning administration, Karen Nuez-Teixeira, for her action at the Southern Academy of Performing Arts today. Karen Teixeira climbed over the railing at the Sapa in order to attend the funeral of her late Basdeo Panday, former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Dr. Amy Brown described the action as unbecoming. He added that to turn up in a manner and to try to grandstand outside of a state funeral in a manner of unfortunate and disappointing. Listen to this.
many persons have done so and have received the relevant feedback and facilitation wherever possible. To turn up this morning in that manner and try to grandstand outside of a state funeral in that manner and attract attention, I saw climbing over a railing and all sorts of behavior, is unbecoming and unseemly and unfortunate and very disappointing in the circumstances. That's what I will say, but hopefully people will take note of how we conduct ourselves in a forum like this.
He found it disappointing. So I want to ask Amy Brown, did he send invitation? Now I'm going to tell you something. Basdeo Panday was a former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And if Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Office or Ministry is responsible for sending invitations, why Hamel Smith and Tishera did not get invitation? Why? I am definitely sure past and present colleagues of Basdeo Panday were there. Friends, family, well-wishers were there. If officials in Trinidad and Tobago or past officials supposed to get an invitation, why didn't Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Ministry did not send invitation to those two individuals? That is something you should ask yourself. Why? Why both of them? Now Tishera said she did not get no invitation. How come? How come she did not get invitation? She was a former Minister of Finance. We see now Amy Brown condemning the act. It's unfortunate. It is disappointing. How is it disappointing? You mean sending an invitation to a former Minister of Finance, not receiving one, that is disappointing? Or the fact that she turned up there is disappointing? Or in the manner in which she tried to enter the funeral, disappointing? So I want to ask Amy Brown, which is more disappointing? Your office not sending an invitation, or you trying to cover up something that your office is responsible for? What is more disappointing? 2386716 is the phone line to call in viewers. We are going for a short commercial break. We'll be right back after this.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Realtalk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Realtalk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Realtalk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery. Talk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Real Talk Group of Companies building at number 14 Crony Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
So welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Now, call a good night.
Thanks, Saeed. All the best. I think I've offered greetings 2024 to you and all your viewers.
Thank you.
I want to reflect on the Karen Nunes issue. I believe it was deliberate on the PNM to suppress the outpouring love and support Basdeo Panday had as a leader. And if that was the agenda, they wanted a small crowd. But I think they get hit for 6 at the cremation site where the crowd was huge. Now, one of the things is, remember she's part of the 3rd force, and she forced her way into the system, into the celebration. I want to know what the police doing about that.
She forced her way inside.
Use the discussion, like everything with the criminals, they use the discussion and the criminals go away. So let us see how the police dealing with that. I ain't saying to lock she up, you know.
I understand.
Want to find out from all of what discussion they use. And if it was a Rasta man with a poyer jumping over the fence, what did they do? They would have searched him. So I'm seeing all sorts of wrong thing with the TTPS. I go and have a nice.
Thank you, my friend. Well said, well said. Thank you. So if you are switching gears a bit. Now, Real Talk is offering you 4% on fixed deposit. You can start a fixed deposit savings for 5 years from $20,000. Remember that. Now, yes, I do say I use the term of $100,000, but that is a break it down to show you the amount of interest you're getting at the end of 5 years. So you can start a fixed deposit at Real Talk with $20,000, go up for 5 years. Reap the reward. This is not just for who have $100,000. This is for the small man too. You have a $20,000, you have $40,000. You can come here, 2 kids. Both of them get fixed deposit at 4%. 4%. So while I'm talking about that, I just want to throw out something to the Credit Union Commissioner's office. Is there anybody working there? Or is it that they are still on holidays? Maybe those in the credit union, in the commissioner office for credit union, maybe somebody might hear this what I'm saying here, and I might call tomorrow. Because I'm waiting for a document from them for about 7 effing months now. And I cannot get it. And I could continue. I could continue. You see, one thing I don't do is that I don't play games. I don't. And I want to let you understand that in the office. So I don't play games. You want to be put on the spot is not a problem. I will put you on the spot internationally. That is what I could do. And I will smile on top of it. For the commissioner of credit union, would somebody in that bloody hell office give me a call before the week done at 339-1670. Give me a call and let me sort out the problem that we have been having for 7 months with you. I intend to take it anymore. And we're going to fix that problem right there. So, somebody in the office called me. So now viewers, Real Talk is offering you 4% on fixed deposit. Yes, we are a financial institution. Remember, in January, Real Talk will be opening Real Talk Finance and Investment in Guyana. In Guyana. Already link up in Guyana already. I got all my license, I got all my documents, I have everything. It's just I didn't get the time to send it to my director to show all you on television. You know, I always have my facts and my documents straight. It's just I didn't get the time to send it to him to put it on television. But hopefully tomorrow I'll do that and you're going to see Real Talk. Let me tell you something, we're flying, we're crossing waters. By the way, Real Talk have a record for sale. So Trinidad and Tobago, Real Talk have this record for sale. Let me tell you something. Look at the condition. Look how Real Talk has had that thing looking. Look how Real Talk has had that thing looking. There's a record. A 5-ton record. Look how Real Talk has had the equipment. Look how Real Talk has had the equipment looking. Look at that truck now. Look at that truck now. You see it's Real Talk? Now I'll tell you something. Look at that monster. Look how beautiful Real Talk had that thing looking. By the way, it's for sale. It is for sale. You know, most of you would know that I have a Benz, a sports two-door Benz that do go car show. You understand? And this wrecker used to carry my Benz. This wrecker is only for the sole purpose of my Benz. For the sole purpose of my Benz. Remember you all saw a blue one just now? We have records. But this one, this is for sale. This was my personal toy then, that I used to carry my Benz with. That is my record. So, Trinidad and Tobago, my baby, my second baby is for sale. Contact me 3391670 and we're going to negotiate from there. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Boy, today was one of the most amazing days in Trinidad. Today I feel like Panday was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. He's a real Mahatma. And everybody from Trinidad should see that. I don't think they're going to have a next funeral like that again in this history of Trinidad.
True. Make Trinidad make history today. Panday make history today. Thank you, my friend. So, like I say, Real Talk, finance and investment in Guyana. We already have land. I just waited on 2 approval for construction of our own building. But we opened Real Talk in Guyana, finance and investment, also Real Talk equipment rental in Guyana. I have all my paperwork, everything straight. You know, when I talk about my mouth, I just show the documents and back it up after. But like I said, I just didn't get the time to send my documents to the director to put it on air. But nevertheless, hopefully I'll do that tomorrow. Let me tell you something. 4% in Trinidad is the highest interest rate. Check your bank. You have $20,000 put in your bank and you're not getting no interest. Bring it across the Real Talk. Me asking you, I'm telling you. Bring it across the Real Talk and get some proper investment, some proper return on your interest. Proper return on interest. Don't tell us something. When I tell you you're making, you're making. Now, I'm a licensed money lender. And I know how to make money. I've been in the finance industry since I was 17 years old. Since I was 17 years old, I am involved in the industry. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Hello?
Yes?
I'm calling. I made an observation today. I was listening to the funeral, and when Mr. Panday's daughter, Michaela, made the announcement of Mrs. Rowley, Mr. Rowley, all the protocol, when she gets to the opposition leader, she just says opposition leader, and she never called Mrs. Professor. I said, maybe it was me, making the error, but later this evening, when the program was run again on Ian Allen's program, she did, and I find that very disrespectful. Mrs.
Now,
Chesterton had nothing to do with her father.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. That is her father. Whatever Michaela chooses to do or choose to say at her father's funeral, that is her right, whether we the citizen like it or not. That is her right, that is a family right to say what they want to see. Me going in there and telling them what to say, that is totally out of the way. I just going to show myself that, hey, you know what? I'm a former friend of him, and that's it. Case closed, talk done. Tomorrow's our next day. Back to the job site. That is how I know it. But nevertheless, moving on. Unruly students will not be left idle after expelled from school, but will instead be enrolled in the military-led academy training, MILAT, program through a mandatory policy to cut down on indiscipline while ensuring learning objectives are met. Oh, let's see how fast statement has come out from the ministry when he has started to blast them. You see how fast statement has come out? Just last night, Monday night we were showing a clip of some students in El Dorado school getting on. Where the clip? Just run by the clip, the director. Let me tell you something, they're getting on like but like I can't find a word. But look at this. El Dorado school, look at that. One individual trying to part two girls, you know. Now woman, you know, girls. You see the one jump the drain? You jump in the drain willfully to fight. Look at the rest of them. Look at that. You going to school and that's what you doing? Huh? That is what you doing? Nah, man. Expelled from school immediately. It's a no, if I didn't have orders coming in to expel work from our side. Principal supposed to be getting names, numbers, family involved today at the school. Watch me. You're going to expel letter today self. Look at that. You think it easy? Watch me today, Tuesday, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them was getting letter to go home and don't bother return to the school. Basdeo, let me tell you something. There's something they call mouth say and there's something they call action. Mouth say cannot just mouth say without action. Mouth say and action goes hand in hand. You see, when I started to talk, all of this listening, all of this really statement, that we call my mouth say bashing all your, and all your action is to bring out statements. That is very effective. Now, a mandatory policy to cut down on indiscipline while ensuring learning objectives are met. Dr. Basdeo Ali said her ministry has committed to not only upgrading the physical infrastructure of schools, but also initiating measures to ensure and to enhance the academic performance of students. Listen to this.
For students that have to be removed from our school system, students who have to be expelled, after all efforts have been made, we have already approved compulsory registration into MILAT for such students, and we do, as the Ministry of Education, reach out to the Ministry of Youth Development on an individual basis, informing them of students that require their attention in this regard. We also reach out to the Ministry of Social Development and the Ministry of National Security, informing them that these students have been expelled and require their assistance in terms of family counseling, in terms of any attention they can give, and exposure to programs available from the government. So it is not as though we are casting these students aside. Even though they are coming out of the Ministry of Education system, there are other provisions coming from the government to deal with these students and to assist them in ways that the Ministry of Education cannot, so that they can lead productive lives at the end.
Well said to the minister. Well said. And thank you for that. Now, according to the minister, being expelled from school not only meaning they're taking you from the system, but you are being enrolled in a program. Now it's up to you from there It is up to the student or to the child from there to want to have an education or not. It's either you have an education or you go and pack shelf somewhere, or you go in the market and push a basket, or you dig a drain side in the road. This is as real as it gets, you know. This is as real as it gets. Once you get expelled from school, let me tell you something, you are to work now. That is embarrassment to the family. That is number one. Embarrassment to the family. Number two, you can't get a proper job anywhere because you have no education. Number three now, you have to go and labor in the vineyard now at the age of what? 13, 14, 15. Grocery work, yard boy, go in the market, go pack a shelf, go do something, some hustling something. Because you don't have no education. You have a CXC pass, you have nothing. So what are you going to do? What education are you going to get? It's two things you're going to do. Is either you're going to that school and become somebody, or you go out and you start robbing. That's what I can say. Because if you want to go in school to get education, what next you're doing? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? As a male, you're going to turn a shovel? You're going to look for construction work? Who caused that? Who caused that? Let me tell you something. From cook to captain in the school, suspend them. Not suspend them, but expel them. Today, in El Dorado, girls, let me tell you something. The amount of parents was coming in to get expel letters from principal, it would have been a disgrace to the family. Call her good night. Hello? We lost that. Now, Basdeo Ali. She reminded parents and guardians that student indiscipline was a major concern and stressed that disruptive violent students would not be allowed to hamper the learning of others, pointing out that school officials were usually hesitant to expel students. Basdeo Ali said, in a lot of cases, principal may not want to go that distance of the process of suspension, which encourage students' misbehavior because they believe they can behave without consequence. Now, let me tell you something. I was the main character in Trinidad pushing to expel students from causing fights in school. Because I will tell you something. From the time you start to hamper children in school and learning, you'll use a problem child. From the time you're fighting, coughing, kicking, you're a problem child. Call her good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Yes, my contribution towards that, boy, lucky that is not my child that gave beaten up, so you know. My next contribution, the Minister of Education, I find they should have a point system now, just like how they have a demerit system. In licensing office, they should have a point system, and those fighting and expelling from school should actually be against them students and them when they're looking for good jobs and visas to go away and all these things. That might teach them a little lesson. I don't know how far that might go. But that's my contribution.
That ain't going nowhere.
Too much of fighting is taking place in them school and ridiculous. Damaging people, all kind of things.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Thank you, my dear. You see, it have gone way and beyond suspending not working anymore. They go suspend them for 7 days, come back in the school and be a bully. No, you fight in school, that is it one time. School, let me tell you something, they have a policy. They have a dress code. They have a behavior code. And if you break these codes and them, you will pay the penalty. There's a principal, there's a dean. Carry about the writing in school. I just tell my kids and them, anytime you hear the school expel all here, so help my God, all you go and work from then, you know. So if all you know what is important to all you, take your education. Take your education. Because let me tell you something. I went to school, you know. And I finished my school. But back in the day, things wasn't as easy as it is now. When you finish school and you want to further your education, it's two things. Is either you're working and help yourself, or somebody helping you. I help myself. I say working at grocery. I often tell you all that. I say working at grocery. I say supervisor at grocery. I said, total 100 pounds of flour on my back. When 5 o'clock reach, 4:30, 3 o'clock, and you tell yourself, boy, 5 o'clock we going home. 3 o'clock at 20-foot pull up there, full with the flour, 100 pounds, 25 pounds. What you gonna do? You think you're going home? No, you're not going home. You're even close to go home. Look where I am today. Look where I am today. Speaking 6 different languages. I'm an accountant. I'm 2 exams away from becoming a chemical engineer. I have a finance company running. I have a record service running. Real Talk, I'm the managing director of Real Talk Group of Companies, Real Talk Finance and Investment, Real Talk Real Estate, Real Talk Open Finance Company in Guyana. I worked my way up the ladder. I didn't sit down. I did not sit down. When friends tell you, hey, you can't make it, that is not for you and this is not for you. Let me tell you something. By the sweat of your, what? By the sweat of your brow you shall eat bread. And I sweat. Look why it's today. I think bread and cheese and jam and all kind of thing now. Driving Porsche, driving Range Rover. I have Casio Benz. I have multiple companies running. You know why? I did not sit down. So, for students who going in school out of cause a fight, let me tell you something. Expel all you one time. Because there are dress code and there's rules and there's regulation in the school. Call her good night.
Alright.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Hello, Mr. Saeed.
Yeah.
Good night, sir.
Good night, good night.
Wonderful program, man.
Thank you, my friend.
I don't think Trinidad could ever have a better state funeral than that. Well job, well done.
Yes, yes, yes.
But I want to say something.
Tell me.
The fighting in the school, they really need to do something about that because I have grandchildren in school.
Mm-hmm.
And every day praying is not enough. Something has to take place. That you just showed there on television.
Mm-hmm.
The girl kicking the girl on the ground and she head.
Mm-hmm.
If something happened to that child, who's paying for that?
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my friend. So it goes on to say, she added that in a lot of cases where we see students reaching to the end point where they have to be expelled, it is because they feel that it will never happen to them. And so they continue with that behavior. Basdeo.
What we find, however, many of the students that we are speaking about are either 16 or over 16. What you tend to see in terms of the pattern of misbehavior, it gets very, very strong in Form 3. A lot of students, by the time they reach Form 3, they are 16. And that also has impact on school dropouts because they reach that compulsory age and they make the decision to leave and the state cannot force them at that time to stay in. We've also made some contact with Serval because Serval can assist where we have students under the age of 16 and they can explore vocational forms of education depending on if they have to be expelled from the school based on their behavior and based on the fact that we have not been able to assist them in transforming that behavior despite our best efforts by the Student Support Services Department.
Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program.
Great
topic. But I want the citizen, you know this too, and I want the citizen of this country to be reminded and to know that the Balize mafia in this country have no interest in education. You see what's happening in the school? Look how much years this is happening. Your program highlighted, many programs highlighted, and we are pleading, we are on our knees pleading, do something about it. You call us, give the solution. What is the solution? How to fix it? And they're not taking on this. So when you sit down, Mr. Said, you're a smart fella, you're knowledgeable, you have intelligence. Sit down and think about it. Ministry of Education get the biggest budget.
Correct.
8 billion or something like
yes.
that. And nothing good could come out of education? Man, something is wrong. The mafia, and the Prime Minister said it, they have the mafia and the criminal gang operating in every aspect of governance in this country, the education system, the health section, even in Parliament. Because you can't tell me this, I'd send them to jail. The Fred jail, I would send them to jail. But you are taking them out, suspending them for 7 days, as you rightly said, then bring them back into the system. What's going to happen? They will continue doing it, and the whole issue starts in the home. How you grew up, Mr. Said? Look, you talking about your parents that would have cut your tail when you were small.
Yes.
You never turned out to be a bandit. Look, you're a hard worker. Look your reward from hard work.
So the same thing, the issue of with these miscreants begin in the home and continued into the education system, and like nobody want to deal with it. Because I feel and I am convinced that all this government want this present regime, the Balete mafia, it want more and more criminals. When 10 dead, they must bring 25 more. Side, great program, you keep up the great work and keep doing what you are doing, and let's hope this country become a better place. I know it will.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, this is what Basdeo Ali had to say in her final words.
What we find, however, many of the students that we are speaking about are either 16 or over 16. What you tend to see in terms of the pattern of misbehavior, it gets very, very strong in Form 3. A lot of students, by the time they reach Form 3, they are 16. And that also has impact on school dropouts because they reach that compulsory age and they make the decision to leave, and the state cannot force them at that time to stay in. We've also made some contact with Serval because Serval can assist where we have students under the age of 16 and they can explore vocational forms of education depending on if they have to be expelled from the school based on their behavior and based on the fact that we have not been able to assist them in transforming that behavior despite our best efforts by the Student Support Services Department.
So Trinidad and Tobago, now they have a choice. This is what I've been pushing for and this is what I got. Because the education system in Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something, we're going down to the dogs and somebody had to stand up. Basdeo Ali wasn't doing it. Who had to do it? Saieed had to stand up. Expel student, think before you raise your hand or your foot to hit somebody. Because that could be the end, could be the end of your educational career. Viewers, we're going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to have Venezuelan held for human and gun trafficking in Trinidad and Tobago after this.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday. When life throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Real Talk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Real Talk Group of Companies building at number 14 Carney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook.
So as we say, Trinidad and Tobago, 4% on fixed, right here at Real Talk. You're looking for cash borrow, it's not a problem. We love to lend. You love to borrow, we love to lend. You have a sad face and looking for cash, I have a happy face and I want to put a smile on your face as much as I am smiling. So callers, viewers, our number will be on screen shortly. Yeah, if you love it, if you're sad because you have no money, and I'm smiling because I have. We put the numbers on screen, call the number, set up an appointment, come get your cash and smile. The year now starts, you have bills to pay, everybody have bills to pay, even I have bills to pay. You understand? So, call our numbers, viewers, set up an appointment, come down to our office. Make an investment, and we lend in cash. Very soon we're going to have Real Talk, finance and investment in Guyana. We're going to have also a realtor equipment rental in Guyana. We're setting up 2 businesses. We're expanding. Just now was Barbados, Grenada, and Dubai. We're expanding. When God say, this is my child in whom I am well pleased. Let me tell you something. You know how much sacrifice idols make? Just to try and stay on the correct path. You know how much sacrifice it is to keep up a straight figure, a straight personality, a good human being in the public domain. You know how hard it is? It's very hard. But you know what? You know what? The grace of God never fails. If you get up and walk, I will walk with you. Not like earlier. Well, you know, we're asking for God intervention, that without his intervention, we wouldn't get through fighting crime. Earlier, you're talking crap, you're talking nonsense, you have no idea of what you're saying. If God bless you and you sit down, your blessings will sit with you. You would not prosper. But when you get up and decide to press forward, no matter what's going on with you, God will open the door. Look at Job in the Bible days, Christian philosophy. Job was blessed, and then Job was cursed by the same God that blessed him. And then when Job stick to God, I feel like I'm preaching tonight, boy. When Job decided, you know what? I put in my faith in the God I believe. God walked him through, and what? God blessed him 10 times after. Came out victorious. Why? You know why? You want to know why? Because he believed. He believed, just like me. Now, God blessed me to do spiritual work. And there are people that God would send. Remember, God gave me this work, you know. I didn't ask for this, you know. He gave me this work. And in giving me this work now, he will prep me, he will prepare me. So when people come, the Spirit of God will start functioning. When I get up 2 o'clock in the morning to pray, 3 o'clock in the morning to pray, for 2 and 3 hours, many of us are sleeping, you know. Many people will be like, hey, I'm driving Porsche. You know how it comes? By the sweat of your brow, you shall eat bread. That's how Porsche and Range Rover and Recanting come. That's how Real Talk financing come about. Because God bless me. So, by the way, in saying that, those of you who have your little 200-300 US hide up in a corner and you want to sell it, contact me. 339-1670. I am buying US. If you have it in the bank and you can transfer it, it better again. It better again. So viewers, I'm going to tell you something. Prosperity does come with hard work. Unless you're born into a family that you inherit blessing. But I will tell you sometimes when you inherit blessings, you don't know how hard the parents work for. You don't know the hours the mothers and fathers getting up. All you know, Daddy, I could get a nice car in the morning. Sure, no problem. Tell your mother and I'm going to go buy one. I never had the opportunity. Never. I worked hard. Hard, what I mean hard. From young, at a young, tender age. Well, after 18. I'm working. Look where I am today. I'm not boasting, you know, but I'm telling all you. Telling all you. If you sit down and ask for it, you wouldn't get it. Get up. I went to school, I got my education, and I started work. And I started to climb the ladder. I started to pray to God and I started to climb the ladder. And I started to make investment. Investment maturing and multiplying. Yeah, as you have your investment multiply, you invest back again. That's what it's do. How do you think I run a company? Finance now. I'm into finance. So, I am into finance now since I was probably about 17, 18 years of age. So, it grew with me. I know about finance. I'm a licensed money lender. I can show you how to make money. Many people don't give out secrets, but I will tell you something. God blessed me with knowledge because of the fact that He called me to do spiritual work and I just share knowledge. Let me tell you something. If this paper is my plate, everything here God will give me to it. Everything outside this plate is not meant for me. What on my plate, I will get. So if I build one house and I see a man build two houses, I satisfied with my one house, you know. You know why? God blessed that next man to build two houses while He blessed Saieed to build one house. But what I'm going to tell you, this one house, the value of this one house, it's going to be like this two houses man building, you know. Trust me. And that is the difference. So Trinidad and Tobago are not discouraging you. Right? What are discouraging you from is what Erla, who is the Commissioner of Police, who have obtained a certain physical power in this land, begging God for intervention. Let me tell you something. When you hold certain responsibility, you don't ask God for intervention. You put on your foot, you get your butt off the chair, and you go and act. Look at the difference between two commissioners. Look at the difference between Gary Griffith. Look at the difference between Erla Christopher Haywood. Look at the difference. Go back and check your statistics with both commissioners and see how it rolled out. If you like talking nonsense, check it for yourself. Now you're going to know why I hit Erla so hard. If I have to make an investment, you think I go ask God for intervention? No, I get set up and go in and check it. I go in and check it. If it suits me, I make it. If it ain't suiting me, I ain't making it. It ain't nothing like God invention. We have common sense. That's what I say. There are some people with common sense and there are some people with book sense. Who wrote book? And common sense? I ain't putting down nobody, but common sense wrote book. Some people pregnant with common sense, while some don't have it. Who don't have it? The Commissioner of Police. Trinidad and Tobago. Friday of this week, we're going to be having our second Friday night Saieed's Backyard Cookout. This coming Friday, right in our program. Remember that? We're going to have it every Friday, viewers. We are changing up our Real Talk with Saieed Ali on a Friday. Yes, we are the number one current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. We are the only program that highlight our Wednesday night road condition in Trinidad and Tobago. The road, the bridge, the water, the street light, the lack of ministers performing in their community. We are the only program in Trinidad and Tobago highlight this sort of thing. This sort of thing. Hence the reason why we remain in number one. Now I will tell you something. As a man, I don't like to boast. I don't like to boast. But when God handed down to you, He bless you with it. It's like you're going to church, you're going to temple, you're going to mosque, but have slippers on your foot. Some brother now would see you with slippers on your foot, and you know what? He'll give you money to buy slippers, you know. He'll give you a little job. Brother, here what's going on. I have a little bundle I want to move. I have my car to wash. I have my yard to cut. Give me a little price and come and do these things for me. When you go and do these things now, I take a money to buy shoes to go to mass now or to go to temple. See how it is? Common sense. Some of them know when they get the money, that's a day. 5 rock, spliff, rum, all kind of thing. But you're putting it to use. I feel like I'm preaching here tonight, you know, director. But at least some point in time, we just had to pull back, then press forth and encourage. When you step back, is you watching what's taking place, and when you press forward, is that you know what you're coming to say. So Trinidad and Tobago, tonight is a little learning night for you all. This is 2024. They say many people make resolution, but how many actually stick to a resolution? What is yours for 2024? Are you going to keep yourself in this box? Or are you going to think outside the box and make things work for you? Because I can tell you something. Property taxes in January. Property taxes in January. Other taxes are coming out in January. By the first quarter of 2024, there are going to be at least 4 different taxes hitting you in Trinidad and Tobago. 4 different taxes. You have water rate, you have electricity, you have cost of living. At least 3 major taxes you're going to be facing the first quarter. January, February, March, April. The first quarter of 2024 is what you're going to be facing. What is your plan to gain more money in 2024? To come through your taxes? What you're going to do? You need advice? Contact me, 339-1670. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, it's Tuesday night right here on Real Talk. We're going to be back with our public concerns night on another night. So remember, be safe.